Hey guys, I wanted to talk about something that doesn't really get talked about honestly, and that's going from old money to new money. Um and then also to no money because I've had experience with all three. Um, so for those of you that don't know, old money is essentially a term for wealth, like high proportions of wealth that have been passed down um through generations. And since Latin American countries had systems of indentured servitude among the indigenous population for so long, that means that many mixed individuals such as myself, especially light skinned mixed individuals like myself, um were part of that system. And so we had old money. And I'll leave this video in the description, but I've been honest about my family's role in um owning fincas, owning plantations. The thing is that it confuses a lot of American individuals because um they wonder how legalized intermarriage between other groups of people um could have happened. um and like they don't really get that. Yeah, I mean, mixed people a lot of the times owned plantations as well, and I can say that for a lot of my family. um just because there were no laws barring intermarriage between like races and stuff like that. Um so yeah, anyway, a bunch of the sides of my family were either poor light skins, rich light skins, um or new money light skins as well. Um so like for example, oh I already mentioned the fincas, the farms or plantations where they used indentured servitude to grow coffee and stuff like that. That was a big part of the economy. But also my my grandfather was Costa Rican, and he started out in the military. That's actually why he immigrated to Guatemala. Because of course, as a lot of you will know, Costa Rica abolished their military guys, and so um he went and studied in Guatemala and became an officer and eventually a citizen of Guatemala. And he was a big shot, super um conservative and stuff like that. Um and um but he also eventually became an economist. He was a private and public accountant. He had his own accounting firm. So he was definitely light skinned new money for sure. Um but he actually married into my grandma's family, and my grandma's was light skinned old money from the indentured servitude days. So that's, I came to the US when I was 2, but that was the environment that I was set to grow up in. And you know, I I it's hard to explain. Like, people would say, why would you give all that up? And to be honest, it's like I was talking about earlier in my video about sacrificing yourselves to the future. My parents, especially my mom, gave all that up because she knew that even if I would um be educated at home in Guatemala, I would literally um have just been in a bed all day. And honestly, they didn't want that life for me. She especially did not want that life for me. And she wanted me to be social and um all of these things, and I think it's worked out. But the thing is, obviously, my family were big shots. They were part of the government and stuff, part of the military. But obviously, in US of A, no one cares whether Guatemala exists. And my mom had some like certifications that she could work as a secretary and stuff. But my dad was literally a dropout, bro. He got um like another person, famous person, he got a small loan of $1 million from my granddad to start a factory where he sold cleaning supplies in bulk. And like a good capitalist, he undersold his competition. Whereas most other places, I think at that time, were marking up those supplies for other companies around 10,000%. He was only marking it up 5,000%. And and he made up for the lower prices selling in volume. So he took advantage of economies of scale. And so yeah, that was his business. He dropped out, but he used all of the knowledge from his engineering programs to make his own business. And of course, once we got to the US, all of that stuff was completely gone, bro. They had to take minimum wage jobs in freaking assisted living, and my mom still does that. I mean, my dad, he's older, he doesn't work anymore. But excuse me, yeah, so we went from having status, having money, to having barely anything at all, bro. Like I said, eventually we moved with my dad. I started growing up in the hood. And yeah, man, and all I can say about that is that I'm glad I didn't grow up in old money and new money, because it's made me a better person. It's taught me the value of a dollar. And my mom didn't grow up in that either, so she always kept us level-headed about money and smart about money. So my dad, on the other hand, he still thinks like a rich kid, right? He still thinks he's that kid getting Rolexes for his 10th birthday, bro. Um and it's affected him to this day. He still acts like that. Like, there's a lot of stuff where even though he knows he has no choice basically in terms of what he gets to eat, he will still refuse to eat it. And like, he was never good at managing money. And it's because of that. And I'm glad I'm not like that, because I feel like if I had grown up with money, um I I wouldn't be as smart as I am in those matters. Um so yeah, there's that an old money to no money story for you guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any similar like transitions that your family has made.